Let's start our Abhidhamma study, reciting the Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Welcome to Abhidhamma class, lesson 64. Today we are going to study about the Kammatthana according to the Suitability. So as the last part, the author of Abhidhamma Sangaha, Acharya Anuruddha, explained the methods of meditation or the meditation subjects in different ways. So at the beginning, he has enumerated the different types of meditation, especially for the Samatha Kammatthana, concentration meditation. And also after that, it will continue to the insight meditation as well. So in the Samatha Kammatthana, altogether 40 meditation subjects are mentioned, and we already discussed about these 40 meditation according to the group, 7 group, and also or whether they support to attain the higher achievement or jhana or no, we already discussed. And today we will learn about the analysis of suitability, which is called Sappaya Beda in Pali. So here in Sappaya Beda, Sappaya is called the temperament. The temperament is altogether 6-fold. So 6 kinds of temperament, charita. That charita refers to the personal nature. So everybody have a different nature. And according to that nature, we can classify them. This person have this kind of character. And so temperament or the charita refers to the character of a person. So we can say the personal character or personal nature. It means before he was trained or he was tamed, admonished by the teacher, advised by their friends or someone else, and before he could change his natural attitude and natural conducts, show his own nature, his personal nature. So some people have the personal nature as a personal nature, lustful or faithful, either way. After listening the Dhamma, after learning Dhamma, or listening the advice of their teacher or girlfriends, he could change to become faithful or the better personal nature, to have the better personal nature. This does not mean that he has this kind of personal nature, because that was the second nature. We can see he trained and he attained this character. As long as he can train himself, he can keep and maintain in this situation, he will be in that nature. But originally, his own nature is different. So that's why we can understand that charita, personal nature, is before we change our attitude and conducts. That is called the personal nature. And also, on the other hand, we can, and as far as I understand, after training, if we become strong and strong enough to claim this is my character, naturally inclined, the mind naturally inclined to, this also seem to be called a personal nature. Because this word is used, we many times we're using this word charita in the case of ducharita or sucharita. So these ducharita and sucharita are not originally arising. So it depends on our attitude whether it is natural or changed, made, and depends on attitude and depends on mental situation, and we do deliberately something that is called ducharita in the evil side and sucharita in the good side. That is why I assume, although this mentioned the natural personal nature and also here natural attitude and conduct, as repeat by that, and then, but for myself, I understand this also possible after we change and it become naturally arising in our mind. This can be called charita. Okay, so here the explanation according to the Abhidhamma explanation is the past karma produce the patisandhi. This is very obvious. We already learned this there. Our past karma produce patisandhi. Our present karma is not producing, and also cannot change the types of patisandhi. And this is according to commentary. So past karma produce the patisandhi, and also this patisandhi conscious now come with the nature, that natural attitude. It means, according to this explanation, we cannot change our charita. So you can read more and you can conclude by yourself. If you want to take a note according to commentary. So through this charita come through the past karma. That's why you cannot change. This is a commentary explanation, and my assumption is that because we use this word charita, then good and bad also is present there. And also then after training, and we could change even our attitude and conduct. That's why. And charita for myself, it doesn't matter either the natural one come with the patisandhi or develop attitude later, or acceptable for me. And okay, let's see how many charita altogether? 6. And raga charita, the lustful temperament. And so dosa charita, hateful temperament. Moha charita, the deluded temperament. These three are considered as the evil nature, evil personal nature. If a person have this kind, and we can say, oh, he has an evil personal nature, but he still can change by himself, to become strong saddha, or faithful person, or like this. And on the bright side, we can see the bright side for 2, especially saddha charita, faithful temperament, and buddhi charita, intellectual temperament. So as we see these raga, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, delusion, or 3 roots, and saddha and buddhi. Saddha also have the Saddha Citasika, and Buddhi is wisdom faculty, Citasika. And here Vitakka Charita. So Vitakka Charita is strange here. And as far as we understand in the Abhidhamma study, and throughout the Abhidhamma Sangha, we understand Vitakka is the natural qualities, and when it is applied in the beautiful side, it becomes beautiful, and when it is applied in the unwholesome side, it becomes unwholesome. And we can see this different nature of Vitakka, applied thought, and it is in the occasional mental fetters. So it does not belong to any of the good and bad side. And in the Charita, the Vitakka Charita is mentioned a discursive temperament. Discursive temperament is comes considered as good or beautiful. So here, vacillation due to the facile speculation. So, for the shallow devotion is soften or moving on the surface. It can understand according to this explanation, and commentary also explain in this way. But that's why maybe the Bhikkhu body translate in this way. So discursive temperament is someone thinking this or that but not finished, not accomplished. This kind of nature is called the Vitakka Charita. Even in the previous chapter, in the chapter, first chapter, from the beginning of first chapter, we explained about the jhana. Vitakka is, at the beginning, it is jhana fetters for the first jhana. But we can see that for the second or third jhana, in the higher jhana, Vitakka already dropped. It means it is somehow useful, but still low qualities. By the work of Vitakka, still attain the first jhana to concentrate on that. But for the higher jhana, it is already dropped. That's why Vitakka is still can be regarded as the low qualities. Okay, so for the Raga Charita, let's see. Raga Charita, it is nature. What kind of person is called Raga Charita here is favored with unwholesome attitude towards the object. So that temperament, lustful temperament, he has the favorable attitude, but it is not wholesome, in unwholesome nature. Through the unwholesome nature, come to the favorable situation or the preference toward the unwholesome case, unwholesome object. This can compare to the Saddha Charita in bright side. So favorable, wholesome, so just changing unwholesome to wholesome attitude toward the object. So in this case, we need to know what kind of person is Raga Charita. Or by seeing the translation, we understand a lustful nature. If he has lustful nature, we can say he has Raga Charita. Or if he has faithful nature, we can say Saddha Charita. But the other characteristic of other representation to know about the Charita is mentioned in commentary. So that is for the Raga Charita person, for those who have the Raga Charita and lustful temperament, they are polite and gentle in the way we can see his way of behaving, or he is very polite and gentle in this way, normally. And also uh, for for doing something, the action, and he liked to keep clean things around him or his personal belonging, or that kind of person prefer the cleaning or sweeping, or so he keep his way of dressing in proper way, and he arranged everything in the orders, and this kind of those who have the lustful nature, he has this kind of manner. And also we can understand through his preference of the food, and it's mentioned in commentary. So for those Raga Charita and Sada Charita, same. The Sada Charita person also seem to be polite and gentle, and like the cleaning or keeping clean and keeping the orders and well dressing. He like the same nature. That's why they are matched together. And also for the food, both of them prefer to eat the sweet or rich taste food, and also the fine, and they don't like the raw food, or like they prefer the fine food and the better choices. So these two types of person share this character. The difference is for the Ragacharita person, it seems very and many sides on many sided. He's showing a different appearance, and sometimes even cheating is doing in this way. And he is very very proud, or very the pride person. His mind is very proud and greedy. This is different from the Sadacharita person. For the Sadacharita person, is go to the wholesome side, because the Sada is wholesome nature. And he used to approach to the triple gem. He liked to do that preference, the different from the Ragacharita. But the formal characteristic and the natures are same. The only thing is, we can say he used to approach to the triple gem because he has the Sattva faithful nature. Maybe if he is not and doing how to say, okay, so he prefer to listen the Dhamma or learning the Dhamma. This kind is considered as the Sattva person. So Raga Charita and Sada Charita, they normally, many characters they share the same, and their only nature is their preference of behaving or doing something. This is for Raga Charita unwholesome nature, and the Sada Charita wholesome nature. And for the Dosa Charita and Buddhi Charita, the Dosa is hatred and Buddhi is a wisdom faculty. So how they share? They in the way of living, they have this strong or hard footstep, a very very noisy one, or like this, and rush in the manner. They seem to be rushed most of the times. That for those who have the hateful temperament or intellectual temperament, their way of behaving in strong and rush. And also their food preference are, they like the strong, sour or salty, or spicy and bitter, other than the fine taste is so different from Raga Charita. For Dosa Charita, they usually like strong taste, and also the same as the Bodhi Charita. The personal nature, uh, the unwholesome side turns away from the object. So when they see something, for the Dosa Charita person, hateful nature, and they dislike, mostly dislike, and they have so many complaints, and this is hateful temperament. But for the bodhicitta, they also turn away from the object, but through the discovery of the genuine force, not for the angry mind. For them, so they have the easy to admonish or not to be so attached like this. In that case, they can easily find out the fault or the fault of the object, and they could turn their mind away from the object. So normally for the raga charita or saddha charita, very easy to attach when they approach or when they get something, and easy to attach. But for the bodhicharita, can find out easily, oh, this is beautiful, but it can be broken, or it will change to other form sometimes later, like this. Then he could turn his mind, he could keep his mind from that object. And also, he liked the same as the dosa charita person, the food items preference, but he can and train to be moderate in eating, so with a considerable mind. And also his manner different from the dosa charita. For dosa charita, he cannot control, and he just do something, whatever he feel according to his emotion. And for bodhicharita, that kind maybe appear, but he can train himself because he's a wise person, intellectual. So understanding if I behave in this way and this will come in this kind of result. That's why. So acting, he got trained and he changed his way of behaviors, adding to be in good side. This is bodhicharita person. Then the last pairs of moha charita person. So the deluded temperament, moha charita, and vidaka charita. So here it mentioned that vacillate owing to superficiality. And so both of them, just the vacillation or in shallow or attitude or moha, because under the moha, they are out of control. They cannot manage. And Vitaka also, they are out of control because they have too many speculation. So let's see, the share character. They are mostly in darkness, or in the confusing manner, confusing behavior, and whatever they do is not clean and neat and just messy behavior or messy situation. And also when they walk in the walk, always complicated. It can be in both sides, sometimes moha charita and sometimes vidaka charita. And also that kind of person does not have the specific choice for the food. Whether you like this or that, or they cannot decide by themselves because already confusing. Or for the vidaka charita, he cannot decide. He has too many thoughts. Or I like this somewhat, and I like the other somewhat, so I cannot decide like this. And also, usually they follow. When they go to restaurant with the friends, and because they cannot decide for themselves, and then they just wait and then see what kind of food the other friends are ordering, and then they just follow. Mostly they follow, and also they delay to make a choice on this or that or like this. And yeah, so in both sides, mostly they cannot decide. That's why they follow to their friend. And some people, when they associate with their friends for their class, Dhamma class, and they join here. And when they associate with the other friend, and then they go to the other side, the good or bad, always changing, because for the Moha Charita, because they don't know exactly what is good and bad and what is suitable for them. For the Vitaka Charita, because they cannot decide and stick themselves to the anywhere. So this is their nature, and this nature not much different. So the difference is for the Moha Charita, because of his darkness or his delusion. Under the delusion, he cannot change, or he in the messy situation. And for the Vitaka Charita, because he has too many thoughts, and this is different. Or for Vitaka, we cannot decide that this is good, although we say this is and 3 is better than the other side. But for Vitaka, it's not considered as that good. Okay, so for this the introduction about the 6 kind of charita, so that you can measure yourself, you can investigate yourself. I have this kind of nature mostly for 6, but this is not only 6, and you can mesh together. Sometimes some people have the raga charita and saddha charita together, like this. Some people have the raga charita and dosa charita together, so two nature come together. And some people have the raga, dosa, moha, 2, 3 together. In this way, if we messed up, even we counted one person in this side, one raga charita only one, dosa charita only one, moha charita only one, we get the 3 person, 3 characteristics, personal nature. And if we miss together, so or another person, raga and dosa 4, and raga and moha 5, then dosa and moha 6, and raga, dosa, moha 7. In this way, this side 7 and the other side 7. So, or not missing together, and we get the 14 nature. So, it means the person can belong more than one charita. So altogether 14. Now, before we missing together and we understand 14, but if we say some person has the raga, dosa, and sattva, so 3, and raga, dosa, and buddhi, raga, dosa, and vitaka, like this. So if we miss, basically he has 2 and then adding 1 the other side, or the other side 2 together and adding 1 side in this way, and it can be extended up to the 21. So we call that the 2 bases, and the adding 1 is the 21. And basically 1 basis and adding 2 or 3, like this, also become 21. And if we hold one person have a 3 nature, raga, dosa, moha, basically, and then adding sattva, so 4, and adding buddhi as 4, or adding vitaka as 4, and 2 together, adding in this way. If we mesh as much as we can, it's become the 63 nature. So we can say the 63 types of person according to their temperament. So you can try. This is not difficult, but you need to concentrate on that. Okay, so just giving you the information. So these are 64 or 63 altogether. Then let's continue our study. So in the Abhidhamma Sangaha, the text is just mentioned about this slide, and not mentioning about the many information as I mentioned in the previous slides. So here, the suitable meditation according to Charita. This is mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha. So Raga Charita, for the Raga Charita, 11 meditation subject suggested or the suitability. It means if he practice these 11, it is matched with his nature and he can improve. So if a person has the other kinds, or he need to consider to add more. So sometimes some people have the 2 together or 3 together like this. So here, for those who have the personal nature of the lustful personal nature, he should practice. He should practice, especially it is for the beginning. It's very important because at the beginning the unwholesome nature are not suppressed, and still the nature of or the raga or dosa or moha, they can come to the level of the mental hindrances, and they can block the mental development. That's why, and it should be at the beginning. So it should be skillful to choose the proper meditation for oneself. Or for the teacher also need to learn about the yogi's temperament and the personal nature, so that he can prescribe the meditation technique for suitable one. If just applying, everybody sharing only one technique is not suitable according to this explanation. So for those who have this strong nature in the raga or lustful nature, he is suitable for 11. So these are 10 kinds of fullness. As you know, these are asubha meditation. This is directly opposite to the raga. In this way, his strong nature come to be oppressed and calms, and without any disturbance from the personal nature, and he can continue. And another one is mindfulness occupying with the body. It is called the Kaya Gata Sati in Pali. And on the other hand, it is called the Kothasa Bhavana, focusing on the 32 parts of the body. But this also, by focusing 32 parts, is close to the repulsiveness. So the fullness meditation, after dividing the body into 32 parts, is no more subject to attach. That's why these 11s are the best for those who have the lustful nature. 11. For the dosa charita and for illimitable, metta, karuna, mudita, bhikha, and the kala kasina. So this kala kasina, it is said that kala kasina, when they are also and they become brighter and clean. That's why they support by to give rise the gladness inside. So the gladness directly opposite to the dosa temperament, hateful temperament. That's why he can easily suppress his unwholesome nature of hatred. Then he can continue up to the attainment. For the moha charita, his mind is distressing. As you know, the the moha nature and Odacha and Vichikicha occupy in the consciousness classification. So distressing according to the restlessness nature, or distressing according to the so many doubtful thoughts. For that kind of person, the mindfulness of breathing. So here for the breathing, and I need to concentrate more, and no time to be the under delusion. That's why for that kinds of person, you need to practice from the mindfulness of breathing. But the same as the Vidaka Trita. Vidaka also the same. So his mind is wandering due to the speculative nature, not specific consideration, just surfing around. So in that case, the mindfulness of breathing, anapana, is is the most appropriate meditation. And in this case, we can see the unwholesome nature to suppress. If we have originally, if we have the personal unwholesome nature, is to suppress. And for the wholesome nature, need to promote and need to develop, need to be increased. That's why for Saddha Charita people, the sixth recollection about recollection of the Buddha is as you know, we already said through the practice of Buddha Nusati, the recollection of the Buddha, he may not attain the jhana, but at the beginning he practiced the recollection of the Buddha, and his faithful nature is supported and full of the saddha. By the strong saddha becomes strength, blood, the power. Then it can suppress the others opposite manifestors, opposite nature of the mental hindrances. And then in that stage, and he changed to the another object and easily is successful. That's why for the Saddha Charita, for the basis level, the Buddha Nusati, Dhamma Nusati, Sangha Nusati, the recollection of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha are recommended. And also Sila Nusati. So one also keeping the precept, they are mostly in the meditation retreat or meditation center, and the yogis are keeping precept, taking precept and observing precept. And during that time, so for those who have the faithful nature, if they can recollect his virtue, his or her virtue, and he can attain the gladness, especially, meditation, the beginning stage for the achievement is gladness. So he need to be glad and calm down. After they continue focusing on the meditation object and reach to the attainment level. So Sila Nusati, and sometimes Jaga Nusati. So for those who has the preference in the manner of generosity, and they make offering and the recollecting about the Jaga and donation. And sometimes Tivada Nusati here, recollecting about the Deva, and the Deva is the reason to be born, the past karma, also the qualities by them the Deva could do the wholesome activity, wholesome karma, and they were born there, and then they enjoying their life there. And also I have this kind of nature. Recollection, six kind of recollection are recommended to develop his saddha, or the faithful nature. So if we have the unwholesome nature, we need to oppress them fast. If we have the positive nature, we need to develop. Either way you can use, no problem. Suppressing unwholesome nature, the wholesome nature will be increased. And increasing wholesome nature and then unwholesome nature will be decreased. So for the Bodhicharita person, the special recommendation is the recollection of the death in Marananusati, and recollection of the peace, Upasamanusati, to Anusati. And also here, perception of loathsomeness in food, Ahari Patikula Sanya, and analyze of the four elements. These are four elements. So altogether, these the four types of meditation are recommended, because these are not easy to understand, not easy to catch up them. The meditation, although you may think the meditation on death very obvious, but to catch up the meaning and what is the death nature, and it's come to me or like this, not easily apply. And also peace and the peaceful nature of the and then Upasamanusati Nibbana. So it is not easy. And the food, to recollect the nature, loathsomeness, or the force of the food, is also not easy to keep as a perception inside. And analyze element also. These are the we can say the difficult meditation and subtle and difficult to understand. That's why it is meant for the beginner, the bodhicharita. But later, if you have already developed your mind according to your suitabilities of meditation up to certain level, and then you can try for all. It doesn't matter. So all together, according to the personal preference, personal character, personal nature. So 13 meditation subjects are explained here, 11, 8, and 1. After that, 2 together, 10. So 13 meditation subjects are mentioned. But the remaining 10, because we have altogether 14 meditation. So the remaining 10, all of the remaining subjects of meditation are suitable for all temperaments. The remaining 10, what are the remaining 10? So this, for the kasina, altogether 6 kasinas still remain, because we already, the only 4 kala kasina are mentioned in former slide. So Patavi, Abo, Dejo, Vayo kasina 4, and Agasa kasina and Aloka kasina. Altogether 6 are in remaining subject. Then the 4 are formless meditation, not mentioned specifically. And that's why these 10 and 6 kasina and 4 formless meditation are applicable for all. It does not contradict. It does not have any contradiction. That's why when we can understand these remaining 10 are applicable or suitable for all temperaments. And if the meditators start to practice the kasina meditation, so for the kasina meditation, we said how to arrange the meditation device. There, it's mentioned a diameter, the around 30 inches or like this diameter, how large. There, according to the temperament, it can be classified. The wider one is suitable for the diluted temperament, so mohacharita. So if meditation device is arranged for the diluted temperament person, it should be wider. So not too wide. Not too wide. It's maybe around the 20 inches or more than that. And wider one. And if it is arranged for the discussed temperament with the Gacharita person, it should be smaller. It's smaller, it's not too small. It's like the source, the measurement of the sources are like this, at 10 inches or around like this. It should be smaller than the Mohacharita person. So it depends on the personal nature, the kasina, the size of kasina meditation device should be, or even the making boundaries on the art, making flags and then just making circle and focusing on that. Also, it should be wider or smaller. Need to be skillful to create that. This is also a kind of skill, choosing the meditation, the way of meditation object, and the arrangement of meditation object, especially for the kasina, a kind of skill for the meditator. If he know better and is more helpful to develop. And later on, if you have already developed your concentration, the object will not be matter. So this is how the Abhidhamma Sangha mentioned according to the suitability, according to the charita. So yes, depends on personal nature, depends on the the charita, we need to be skillful. We need to be wise to choose and create our our meditation subject. And I hope you understand, and that you can make your own meditation subject. You can choose your own meditation subject and be successful in your practice. Thank you very much.
So question 1. Dear Sayadaw mentioned that due to past karma, which produce the patisandhi, everyone has different criteria. Are we able to know what specific kind of past karma actually give rise to raga, sada, dosa, buddhi, moha, vitaka, charita? Could Sayadaw please explain briefly?
Okay. Yeah, very good question. Thank you very much. And here, it's mentioned in the Pali literature for the extension about the suitability. So if a person perform the good deed, the wholesome karma, with the expectation to attach to the resultant in the next life, to be born in the Deva realms and with the full of enjoyment, with this attachment, surrounded by this attachment, this is different from the Kama Sakada Samadhi, understanding about the one's own belonging as karma. This is a good thing. This is the right view. But if someone understands that, not stop there and cannot control in that situation and continue attachment, if I donate, for example, if you heard about the Dhamma talk, if I donate the robe to the monks, I can get the Mahalata, that special uniform. And during that time, only 4% could get during the time of the Buddha. Yes, this is more than millions of, at this, price. And if you have thought about this, and then when you offer robe, you consider, oh, I will get this. This is attachment, With this attachment surrounded by the unwholesome nature, when you do this donation or whatever wholesome karma with the intention to get it, this wholesome karma is considered as the wholesome karma surrounded by the unwholesome nature of attachment, raga. When that karma produce, maybe that person or that person gets the resultant, whatever he or she has expected for, but his nature become lustful. When it is produced there, the production karma or patisandhi is surrounded by the unwholesome nature of raga. In the same way, sometimes, when they are performing wholesome deed and with the angry mind, maybe sometimes he is angry due to the other reason, or disappointed with someone else, and by that kinds of unwholesome nature, surrounded unwholesome nature, and he performed to complete his wholesome action and become, when he was born, and as a result, somewhere, and become that nature come together. That's why it is suggested, when we perform our action, especially the wholesome action, we should be surrounded. Our karma should be surrounded by the wholesome nature only. Then, for those who want to be Saddha Charita or Bodhi Charita, like this, so for the Saddha Charita, he needs to develop to surround his karma by the Saddha nature. And for the Bodhi, And sometimes, with the expectation or with the wish to become the wise person, I make this wholesome karma intended to that. Or else the literature, in Pali literature, it suggests that if you make the wholesome karma related to the learning, the offering, the teaching, how to say, the classroom utilities or tools, something like, and books, or it's supposed to be the nature of the buddhi. It's called the intellectual temperament. So we can understand the productive karma, when it is done, surrounded by something, it's become nature. Sometimes, in some part our mind is complicated, some with the faithful nature we are doing, and then later on any disturbance come and then getting angry, so become the two types like this. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. I see a raised hand. Brother, is it Brother Ho? Hmm? Okay. Let's move on to another question from the chat box.
Okay.
So this question is from Sister Call. Dear Sayadaw, for meditation of 4 arupa, isn't it very difficult, especially for deluded temperament? But why is it considered as general meditation for all types of temperament? Can Sayadaw comment or elaborate on this? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is, it seems the general, general, it seems easy, but actually no, it does not mean easy. This general means this relevance or suitable for everyone, no preference, because you understand this arupa. Arupa is without the attainment of rupa jhana, you cannot you cannot continue. You cannot practice on arupa. So definitely, when you are practicing arupa jhana concentration to attain the arupa jhana meditation, you already, that person already eliminates the mental hindrances by nivarana during that time. So his personal nature, unwholesome nature, already suppressed. So that's why we don't need to choose this is relevance or this is suitable for only those time. It can be available for everyone, because this is higher stages, only higher stages, not the beginning stage. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante. Okay, the next question is, Dear Sayadaw, when we do offering, we may consider which recipient, which types of dana will give bigger and better result. So will such consideration also surround or taint our karma?
Okay, so for this question, I have two kinds, one is I'm following the question, to have the bigger and better result, right? So this is a kind of skillfulness. If we, according to the economics, they consider if about the investment, the making donation, this is investment. We should have the better how to say the outcomes through this action of donation, and considering what kind of recipient or what kind of donation like this. So if we consider in this way, we have to choose carefully. Recipients should be the as much as noble he who was be the best in the Uttujana or the noble person. Or the other thing is he should be in the proper manner. So sometimes he is normally he is not greedy, but this time he needed to support someone else. At that time, he can show the improper behavior, improper manner. And during that time, our mind can be disappointed very easily. For the recipients, you can choose as much as noble as the person, and you can choose the best one. And for the donation, it does not mention. Actually, depends on what they need, and also depends on, especially if you like something, you are the person who have the preference on the food item to donate. So you like to do that, and you like the food offering. Or if you are offering the robe, or you offer that is according to your preference. And also maybe if you learn, this is the need for him, and you can rejoice more. In this way, we can consider about the donation, which can bring the bigger and better result. But another side is to make the better donation is just like the Bodhisattva's donation. When you read the Chataka story or the whenever the Bodhisattva make the donation, he's not making any classification, any differentiation. So just trying to offer whatever they need. So the way of donation is according to their needs. So if a person suffer in cold, you offer the blanket or heater. This is the best for the recipients. So if you are making this kind of donation, which is done by the Bodhisattva, and you should choose, this kind of recipient is for in need, urgent, and you should do that. And after that, you can recollect it is, when they need, and I could do that. And for the kind also, the items of donation should be applicable for their needs, to fulfill their needs, not for their own preference. This is because the Bodhisattva have the strong attitude to maintain, and very good attitude. He can do whatever donation in the the standard level. Is not low qualities, standard qualities, because of his mind and his attitude. That's why it depends on your way of thinking. If you are thinking for the pastime and thinking about the bigger and better result, and you should choose the nobler and the appropriate behavior and the item according to your preference, according to the recipient's preference. Maybe it is not necessary. For example, some people already have their computer or phone. He still want to get a better one, and you want to offer that one. It's okay, but just need to choose that recipient is how noble or how high in the position. And in this way, you can maintain your mind during the moment of offering, and in joyful, and to be in wholesome side. But in this case, need to remind, your mind should not develop to attach the result. Although you're thinking about that this one must be beneficial according to the way of performance wholesome deed. This wholesome must be beneficial and then fruitful, but make sure not attached to the resultants. If you develop attachment and considering about the heaven, life in the heaven, and the next life my life will be full of enjoyment, this is a kind of attachment. So just stop there in the knowledge and do your best. It's okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante. Okay, we still have another question.
Okay.
Dear Salvador, it looks like the suggested meditation method for Sada and Buddhi nature are not able to attain jhana. Are the wholesome temperament person usually have to travel the longer path? Can Salvador please elaborate or comment? Thank you.
Okay, so it does not mean on the longer or shorter, it just pointed out where we should start. Before we could suppress our mental the mental defilements or the nirvana called the mental hindrances. So we need to choose the certain the suitable meditation subject. So we need to choose first. At the beginning, you choose from the Buddhanussati, no problem, just to suppress the mental hindrances. Although at the same time, the other person he is choosing for the Raga Charita Asubha Kamatana, he will not directly attain the jhana through that practice, and he need to complete the beginning stage or preliminary stage to suppress the mental hindrances at the beginner level. So after a while, he can continue practicing up to the attainment. At the same time, for those who have the Saddha Charita or Bodhicharita, they start from the meditation subject, not applicable for the attainment or jhana. But after suppressing the mental hindrance, that he can change and that he can practice easily. It's not because of the duration of meditation before the attainment, not necessarily how long you practice on meditation, on this meditation object. For example, some people observing the mindfulness meditation, they are breathing, anapana, which is not specially recommended. But he's doing this more than a year, but he cannot suppress the mental hindrances. For example, if a person have the raga charita, and he just focusing on anapana and cannot improve, because because he could not suppress the raga charita. The nature disturbing all the time. And at that time, although 1 year already practiced and he could not develop. And for those who have the Saddha Charita or Bodhicharita, and they start from the 4 elements for the Saddha, Bodhicharita and Buddhanussati, etc. for the Saddha. After the 1 day, 2 day, or according to his improvement, he could suppress, and then he moved to the Anapanasati, and he can easily continue. That's why I will say this is not for taking longer. It's for the beginner where we should start, or we should step our practice, go through the difficulties. That we need to. Everybody have to break through the mental hindrances when they practice meditation for the beginning level. So after that, every meditation is applicable. Okay.
Thank you, Salvador. So now we have one more question.
Yes.
Dear Salvador, sometimes when we do wholesome, we may need to tolerate a lot for some conditions or others. Due to that, we may arise much unhappiness or dosa. Then is it better that we stop doing the wholesome?
Yeah, I would say better to keep continuing, suppressing the unwholesome nature than the stopping wholesome. Because according to Buddha's suggestion, advice, just to the unwholesome is to oppress, to suppress, to remove. Wholesome is to cultivate. So when you cultivate the real wholesome nature inside with a proper way of consideration, and the unwholesome nature will be eliminated. So, for example, if you are making donation and from different direction, disturber will come to disturb your mind. At the beginning in your at home, you prepare, I will keep my mind here in this way. When you really go to the field or donation, the several equation come to disturb your mind. But in that case, you need to make a choice. Stop doing wholesome or develop the wholesome nature inside, so that it can overcome the unwholesome nature. So if you think, oh, those are come because of him or because of her, because of this situation or that situation. And as you mentioned there, then need to tolerate, you need to tolerate first. This tolerate is not only personal nature, it can be developed. That's why you practice, you develop tolerance, the quality of tolerance. Then by that, you continue or developing loving kindness and proper attitude. So in this case, we call the yoniso manasikara, the wise reflection, proper attitude. It's very important. And you can learn how to keep and how to maintain. That's why, in the Chataka story, I recommend to read the Chataka story to learn how the Bodhisattva maintain his ability in the wholesome side for the perfection. Even if his limbs, his organs are cut off, he could tolerate. This is not easy, but it means we can train ourselves. Everybody have their different difficulties. That's why we understand these are difficulties to overcome, not to give up. So if you stop doing wholesome, it is giving up. So for myself, I would suggest don't give up and then try to overcome unwholesome nature and be successful in the wholesome karma. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sayadaw, we still have one last question.
Okay.
Dear Sayadaw, when we had practiced a suitable meditation object for a period of time, and the mind started to incline toward a different meditation object, should we follow the mind inclination and change the object at that time?
Okay, so it's a good question and very practical. So some people have, the idea, another idea, when we are focusing on this and then, oh, it's developed, but I prefer to move this one or that one like this. So if, according to this this lesson, you should stick to the suitable meditation according to this suitability, and stick to the certain level. Just certain level where you can suppress the mental hindrance. So mental hindrance already suppressed, and you can easily focus on the object, and your mind concentrated on that. On that situation, you need to continue on the suitable meditation. Then, if you understand there is no disturbance, even the restlessness, odaja, or the wandering thought, not coming into mind process many times, you can concentrate more than 1 hour or like this. During that time, you can understand, oh, my mind already stable, and without disturbance of the mental hindrances, I can continue my meditation. During that time, you can change, no problem. You can change. Because, for the Buddha Nusati, although you continue practicing it and you will not attain the jhana, if you have a expectation to improve up to the attainment level, and you need to change at that moment. And just before an attainment of this level, you just focus the 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and it's become a little bit concentrated, but not enough to support further practice. At that time, if you change, it is not suitable because it's just going around and not concentrated. So the purpose is to the attainment of concentration to the certain level. That level is without any disturbance from the mental hindrances. So you need to check your level of concentration through the suitable meditation. After that, and if you think this is enough, safe from the disturbance, and then you can change. Okay, let's make inspiration and share our merits to all beings. Please repeat after me. Imina punya kamena.
Imina punya kamena.
Mami bala samagamo.
Mame bala samagamo.
Saddam samagamo hotu.
Satam samagamo hotu.
Yawa nibbana patiya.
Yawa nibbana patiya.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Asawakaya vaham hotu.
Asawakaya vaham hotu.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Nibbana sapachayo hotu.
Nibbana sapachayo hotu.
Mama punya bhagam.
Mama punya bhagam.
Sabba saddhanam bhajemi.
Sabba satanam bhajemi.
Te sabbe.
Te sabbe.
Me samam.
Me samam.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.